Hi, welcome to another episode of Lessons with Ray. This week we're going to be learning the theme song to Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends from Cartoon Network. So here's a recording of the original song from YouTube that I found. And here's me playing it on the guitar at the speed of the original recording. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Since this is a longer melody, I'm going to break this up into a bunch of chunks to learn over the course of this lesson. So here's the entire demonstration slowly. So the first part I'm going to teach in this lesson is just this melody. So to play this melody, we're going to put our forefinger on the 5th fret of the G string and play that note once. Then we're going to play the 8th fret of the E string with our ring finger. And then go right next to the note next to it on the 7th fret on the E string, to the note right next to it on the 6th fret of the E string, then back up to the 8th fret of the E string, and then to the 8th fret of the B string. All those notes together make up this part of the melody. Then we're gonna repeat all those same notes, but we're gonna omit the last two. So together that sounds like this. Then we're gonna repeat what we first played again. So all together we're repeating it 3 times, but the second time we're omitting these 2 notes. And that's the entire first part of the melody. The second part of the melody is going to start on the B string and sounds like this. So to play this part of the melody, we're going to go to the 8th fret, or the 9th fret of the B string, my bad. We're going to play it once, then we're going to go to the 8th fret of the B string, and then to the 6th fret of the B string, and we're going to strike this note twice. Then we're going to hammer on to the 8th fret of the B string where we just were. And then play the 8th fret of the G string. Then we're going to play the 9th fret of the B string again. Then the 8th fret of the B string. And then the 6th fret of the B string twice. Then we're going to play the 5th fret of the D string to lead us back into the other melody. Followed by the 6th fret of the D string. Followed by the 4th fret of the G string. Then we're going to repeat the first melody that we played earlier. So far this is how much we have. Then we're going to repeat the same second melody again. But instead of leading us back into the first melody, we're going to play different notes. We're going to play the 6th fret of the D string, followed by the 5th fret of the G string, followed by the 6th fret of the G string, followed by the 7th fret of the G string. And then we're going to play the 5th fret of the G string to the 7th fret again, to the 7th fret. Then we're going to go to the 6th fret of the B string, and then to the 5th fret of the G string. Altogether, that sounds like this. Then we're going to go to the 8th fret of the G string, to the 7th fret, back to the 8th fret, back to the 7th fret, so again it's the 8th fret, then the 7th fret, then the 8th fret, then the 7th fret, then the 8th fret, then the 7th fret again, then the 8th fret again, then finally the 6th fret of the B string to the 8th fret of the G string. That's our last note. That's the part of the melody that sounds like this. Then we're gonna go all the way down to this part of the neck to play the next melody. We're gonna play the 3rd fret of the B string and the 3rd fret of the G string. So we're gonna play the B string first, then the G string, and then the B string again, and then the G string again. And then we're gonna move 2 frets down and play the 1st fret of the B string and the 1st fret of the G string, and play each of those notes, starting with the B string, then the G string, then again the B string, and then again the G string. So that's the part of the melody that sounds like this. Then we're going to go all the way back to the first melody that we played. But this time, after we get to this note, so we've played this much of the melody, we're going to play the 11th fret of the E string, and then the 6th fret of the B string 4 times, and then the 8th fret of the B string 4 times, and then we're going to play the 7th fret of the E string a bunch of times as well. So that's da 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 da, that's 5 strikes, and then another 5 strikes, and then finally our last note of the whole song is on the 8th fret of the E string. And we're going to slide it down the neck like that. So all together we have this melody. The second melody. Then the first melody again. Then the second melody again. Then the third melody, then third melody again, then the fourth melody, back to the first melody again, but now we're going to play the ending. And that is the entire song. Hope you had fun learning it this week.